look at this.
3 screens, 10 places to change, slide, push buttons. Oh,
I
so
never really know to believe if I'm on camera versus you on camera. Is my mic on? Is your mic on? Have you turned things on when I'm doing weird things?
yeah. So just a heads up, I am getting a weird message from YouTube that we're not getting a smooth stream. However, what I can see looks pretty good to me. So, you guys let us know in the chat if things are being funky and I'll
Things
poke
look
and prod.
okay for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it literally says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering.
You had
Yeah,
just like a half smidge of a lag for a sec, but like barely noticeable.
cool.
So
All
hopefully,
right.
hopefully we're
So,
good.
stream status is poor at the moment, but cake is too. So,
Well, I mean, on the one hand, though, Robin here, hello, my dear, said it has been one of the best days that she's had in a long time.
that's awesome.
And I'm so
I'm so glad
glad.
you're here. And
Yeah,
Druid is here.
I made sure to send out some reminders yesterday. Did I do it yesterday? Thursday? I don't know, someday. It's one of those weird transitional periods, between
Yeah,
like
I'm not.
Thanksgiving and December.
Yeah, I don't know what day of the week it is. I've had to remind myself several times. Yesterday,
Well,
but yesterday was Friday, so.
I'm really screwed up because I'm used to Thanksgiving falling in the second to last week,
Mm.
not in the last week, and then
Yeah, all of a sudden it's
Sunday's
December, and you're like,
December.
whoa.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, so it messes with me. Hello, Druid, my goddess,
Yeah.
humble turd baby dear. God, thank goodness you guys can't see how dirty my glasses are. It's a wonder
So
I'm going to see anything.
sometimes I think you probably can see how dirty mine are. Like, cake, you got a
Well, at
chunk.
least something here. Well, yes, if you have like a chunk of like chicken salad on them, then yes, I can see that. Yes, Robin saw a reminder the other day. Exactly. That was the whole point that I made sure to post one so that everybody knew where to. Ew, that didn't. Have you ever cleaned your glasses and it only got worse?
Yes.
Wow. I'm like, huh, we should make sure that we're seeing what we're looking at because we've got some very interesting things to look at this evening.
You and Druid and your love affair.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Did you see when you had Mary on your stream the other day? She told Mary that
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
she's like I love you, but like we got a thing going on. I'm like, oh snap. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah, that snuck up on me. Whew. Yeah. See, don't be
Never jealous.
so.
Never jealous when my friends have weird online romances. We've all been there.
Have we? Have have we indeed?
Now Druid and Robin may remember. I'm pretty sure I told the story of how I got catfished when I was in college. Yeah, I mean it was the very infancy of the internet.
Wait a minute. I don't think I heard about this on your stream, but otherwise, if I hadn't just heard about it like in your hotel room one night, I think I'm offended.
I don't. Okay, so I have told you the story. Okay, Robin remembers it. Okay. Aw, Druid. Cake is my baby too. Oh.
Whatever.
I appreciate it, and
You don't have a nickname like Tumblebird, okay?
it's okay. We can all love our friends in different ways. I'm not offended at all. So yeah. I don't want to talk about the holidays, so I'm just gonna. I did get some exciting Happy Mail today.
Yes, we were just barely talking about this before we went live. So I am really kind of learning along with you guys here. I have
Yeah.
seen this book. I haven't looked in it.
Yeah, so it was a recent publication, but I think the reason why it wasn't on my radar so much was it's published in the UK, and it is just out now. I think in paperback for, you know, widespread whatever.
Consumption.
Yeah, widespread distribution. So it's by Vintage. But yeah, it's Penguin Random House UK. So it's got a 2023 publication date for that. So I'm guessing that like it was published in the UK, and then it's the second printing in the soft cover that is now in the US, because that has got the 2024 date. In any event, long story short, it kind of showed up in kind of on my radar, and I was like, okay, what is this book? Why have I not seen this book? This looks like an interesting book. And it oh, there's some weird, this must be why I was able to get it on the secondary market. It's got a little damage.
Oh my.
Yeah, this looks like it's just torn pages. But in any event, what I was telling Jill is, this reminds me, our friend Mia has this amazing fabric swatch book that she got at auction, and we've both seen it in person, and it is truly like knock you over with a feather amazing, because it is just pages and pages of fabric swatches that some woman put together. And I don't know that there's a lot, she has a lot of provenance on it. But it is clearly
she does. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
remember.
But this thing is like, looks like a dictionary. It's so thick.
Oh yeah, it's a tome.
Yeah, and I want to say it looks kind of, it's one of those things the woman probably, I mean, it's some kind of scrapbook system, I guess. You know, they used to have the scrapbooks where you have the Chicago screw posts, and you could just keep adding pages. It's that kind of situation, but it's like a ledger paper or something. In any event, it's amazing. It's pages and pages of just beautiful dress fabrics and things from decades. I think a lot of it was probably early 20th century, but just gorgeous things. Well, that's kind of what this is. This woman, Kate Strasden, got this thing. I've only read the preface, but she got this book. She was given this gift of this book in 2016, and she starts looking at it, and it's all these lovely dress fabrics, and there's a date, 1838, there's names, and it took her, I want to say, 6 years to work through like some of the information in this book to put together this history. And so, like, I haven't gotten into it yet, but one of the people that has, I guess, commented on the book is Claire Hunter. And if you've read any of Claire Hunter's stuff, particularly, oh gosh, I'm going to mix her up with the other person. There's one is The Golden Needle and one is the other Threads of Life or whatever. But she commented that this is a fascinating book. So her books are fascinating, and so this seems fascinating as well. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. And I was thinking, possibility that I need to see how easy it is to get this book. It's only like $13. Well, no, that's 13 pounds. Sorry. It's less than $20. Let's put it that way. But I don't know if it's like just readily available on Amazon, or because I think I bought it through Abe or one of the book things. But anyway,
what's it called?
It's called The Dress Diary of Mrs. Anne Sykes, Sykes. Secrets from a Victorian Woman's Wardrobe by Kate Strasden, Strasdyn.
Oh, it pops right up when you are gonna the dress diary. Oh.
But I'm curious,
there's one called The Dress Diary: Secrets from a Victorian Woman's Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's the name of it. And that might be the UK printing. So
hardcover.
Yeah, see, I have the soft cover, so this is the.
So there's a hardcover on Amazon for $13.65, and then a paperback for $14.39.
Isn't that funny that you could get the hardback cheap? I wonder if it's a used copy. In any event, I think that'd be really fun for this to be one of our 2025 books to read.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not quilt. I realize it's not quilts, but
we are not just quilts here.
Right, I know. But I really think that the gist of this book would really appeal to everybody, whether you're a quilts person or you're just sewing and fabric person. And it's got that, like, seems like it's got that really juicy component of history and intrigue. Some woman's diary.
I'm all for something different.
Yeah, so I thought this would be a fun one. So I think that was what was in my mind. And now that it has arrived, I think I would like to nominate it. So,
Well, but does that mean that you're gonna read ahead?
oh yeah. But at the rate that I'm reading the other book that's on my bedside table, I wouldn't worry. A page at a time in my leisure time, which is the 10 minutes before I actually fall asleep, is not anything to worry about.
Well, all right, and he's saying like I'm not sure how much I believe you, but whatever you want to say.
Well,
Um, so let us get into some things here.
yeah.
I've got quite a few things for us. Let's see, for us to look at here. The first of which is this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we're at the very end of November here. And tomorrow starts December, and I have forgotten to like post this on our socials, but I'll do it tonight. Because we're not doing any books. We're just hanging out and doing different things. Last time we looked at an exhibit. If you haven't seen that from last Tuesday, go look at that. Also, the Arizona Quilt Study Days on the 7th. I just wanted to remind everyone the last day to sign up for that, if you wanted to, is Monday the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So just a reminder that that's happening. We've also put in here some Stitch and Glitch days just to
Yes.
yak, and uh, anything could happen. I know I'm covering a wide swath of land with that. But just wanna remind. And then the other thing I wanted to
Yes,
add here.
Druid. I'm sorry. Druid commented on my bangs.
Your hair does look really dark. Like is it wet?
It is, yeah. I took a shower a couple hours ago and I just braided it and it immediately,
Hmm.
so it stays kind of damp.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
very dark.
I did cut my bangs over the last few days and they're a little short. I did one trimming and it was like they were still too long, so I did another trimming and now they're like,
Hey, at least you didn't end up with that like micro bang thing when people really screw up cutting their bangs.
I don't think that I look very good like that. So yeah, I just
No, no one does.
mm.
So, our friend
Stitching and
Dawn here,
witching. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get
I
to
like
what you're
stitching
showing
and
here because
witching.
this is important. This is our friend. So
Well, and I'm showing this because our friend here put out a new reel that is, oh my God. And I've been sharing it, but just in case people aren't sitting on the social media, I want to show. Isn't that just like gorgeousness? I want to live in that.
Dawn's got a few sewing rolls.
Yeah, that is her collection there. Um, and I mention that because she has an Etsy here. And all those sewing rolls she had used to make this book. And I'm bringing it up because this book is on our 2025 list here. So I want everyone to keep that in mind because this would be a great time to ask for it for Christmas.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes.
yes.
And I have this book. I got it for my birthday. I guess it was right after she published it. I was like, told my mom,
Hmm.
buy this book for me now.
Hmm.
And it does. I mean, she's got it's like all the details of all those sewing rules that you could see in her video. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her reel reminded me to remind you guys, hey,
yeah.
grits and butter. I
Hey,
haven't
Linda.
seen grits and butter in a hot minute. Where you been
Yeah,
hiding?
it's good to see you.
So yeah, everybody go get that. A little reminder for you. And then we are looking at, I gotta figure out here which one we're looking at here. We are looking at auction review today. So this is when we look at sold prices for things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I got to
This
do
isn't
my
a
part here.
preview of what's to come, so just keep that in mind. But it's interesting to see sometimes what the market's doing for things that we like, that we enjoy. Don't be sad when it's things that you missed out on. It happens to everybody.
So is
Um,
this is the one that's in the UK, right? This is the big.
this one, no, this is not the
No.
one that's in
Okay.
the UK.
Okay.
This is in the US, and the reason I pulled this one up, this is not, there's just some quilts and sewing things scattered into this one, so we won't be here a ton of time. But I pulled it up, and sorry, I'm just trying not to make you guys sick while I scroll here. I brought it up because this one has some interesting prices. So not that anyone here is in love with coverlets. If you are, yay for you. They're interesting, but they're just not something I collect. But I saw, there were some coverlet prices here that aren't half bad. Like, keep in mind that down here is the start price. They put their sold prices up top here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
$125 for one of those coverlets that's in.
1843.
Yeah, and if it's in good condition, that's really quite a
Hmm.
bargain. If you like
Yeah.
coverlets.
Well, and I mean, this one here went for quite a bit more, 300, but I mean, when I see them sold, privately on market, um, I can see them for like 500 to 600. So, and then there's some more down
And as much
here.
I sit here and I say I don't love coverlets. I have a couple. They're not like old ones like these, but um, they're scratchy. They're kind of like chins. I don't love them,
Mm.
but I want to learn about them because
Ooh.
I've heard some things. One of the study groups that I attend, a couple of the people are kind of coverlet experts, and definitely one woman is like she may have written a book. Now that I think about it, but she has a huge collection, and she brought in actually some fragments, and they were really interesting to look at. And again, still not interested in them. Not don't want to collect them. Don't want to become an expert in them, but they are not all that they appear. I will
Hmm.
say that much. They're the way they're woven, and the way back in the day, if you were going to commission a coverlet, because sometimes they have people's names woven into them. So if you were
Hmm.
going to commission a coverlet or go buy a coverlet, the way that you bought them from the weaver is really interesting. It's not what I thought. So
Hmm.
I think this might be a topic for us to just sort of examine one day.
Sure. Like it's funny, the one down here that I would be the most attracted to, which I have to say, this isn't a pattern that I have personally seen very much, but it's also, of course, the one that went like for the most money in this grouping.
Hmm.
But I find them very interesting.
They're
Just I
pretty to
can't
look
I
at.
can't collect everything.
Yeah, well, they're pretty to look at, I think,
Hmm.
because they do have really interesting motifs in them, and I think there's some things to learn about that.
Hmm.
But weaving is a very interesting sort of craft. It's not something I have ever actually done, other than like the little pot holder loom weaving. I've never done
Oh
like
yeah, from
weaving.
I remember
um,
those.
yeah, I actually still have a loom, and actually our friend Anne had been making some of those for a little bit.
Hmm.
And my mother loves them, so I make them for her every year for Christmas. um, she doesn't wear them out over the year, so she's got a zillion of them now. But anyway, I
Oh, that's
digressed.
cute.
I digressed.
You
Ooh, there's an
did.
Amish quilt.
So don't get your don't no 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 no
Is it not in good condition? Is it not
no
old?
no no no.
What?
Note, we
Oh,
have
it's an arch
determined
quilt.
that this quilt is not Amish and is
Okay,
contemporary.
it's an arch quilt. Okay, still $50 for a good condition arch quilt. If you collect that sort of thing, it's not bad either.
Um,
Um,
well, but what I don't understand is why didn't they change the name?
yeah, Amish inspired arch quilt would have been the proper title for this.
Yeah, like, no, I
My
like this. Like, sometimes I would get excited over finding out that, like, something I really liked wasn't real. Um,
Mhm.
because I would be like, oh my God, I can actually use it,
This is odd
and
that
not.
they call this an Amish quilt because this are you able to enlarge that? This looks nothing like any Amish quilt I have ever seen in my life.
No, I agree. I think it's just the colors that they're.
I mean, at first I thought they were fans, but those aren't even like real fan. Yeah, I guess they are fans.
No,
Okay. I mean,
that's as
that
close
is
as
an
I can get.
Amish pattern. The fans that make that is an Amish
Hmm.
type of
But they
pattern,
put it
but
in kind of like a drunkard's path type.
well, no, that setting I think is a legit setting too. You know, an Amish setting, but it's there's something about the way this looks that immediately I'm like, no, 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 wait a minute, that's not Amish. It's kind of,
I
I mean,
don't.
it's a cool quilt, but
No, I like it by itself, but like I'm annoyed that they call it Amish quilt, and then like you have to find out in the notes that it's not.
yeah. So a druid says because they want to hook you in and the keywords. Yeah, yes, probably. Also, one of the things, the possibility going on here is that somebody called them out.
Oh no, I
It
totally
was
think
too
that's what
late.
happened.
It was too late to change that title because you know this kind of software. You know, we know. You know, back end software
Well, you know what's
sometimes will
funny
have
is I
things you
think
can't
like
change.
they put note in caps. I think I would have put like all of that in caps.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's funny, they're saying it's determined it's not Amish and it's contemporary, but contemporary doesn't mean like import.
Yeah. Um. Correct. So arch quilts were from Hawthorne, New York, but are all arch quilts made overseas? I don't know a whole lot about arch
I don't
quilts.
know.
I have
It's just kind
one.
of the general.
I have one, but I kind of thought they were one of those like employing people to do piecework kind of places here in the U.S.
I don't
But
know
I
enough.
could be
I don't
wrong.
know enough about them.
They may send their they may have been sending their stuff overseas. I don't know. So we'll have to
Yeah,
hopefully one of
I
our
don't know
people.
enough about them, but I
Um,
would have called this something other than contemporary.
okay, Robin says she thought they were made and sold in New York. So
Oh, but even if they
um,
are, it's still
mhm.
not like it's not an
Yes, it's
import, but then
very
it's a
disingenuous to keep Amish in there, if not saying Amish inspired or Amish style.
well that and I wouldn't even call it contemporary quilt. I would call it mass produced or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sold, it's like it's a
Contemporary
lot different.
does contemporary is one of those sort of words that covers a lot. You know, when you don't have the words,
Well,
just
and
like
that but that's why I wouldn't call it that in that instance.
oh hey Barb.
Um
So Barb says this quote was discussed on Facebook, thus the correction.
ah
You know what?
I don't recall seeing it discussed there, but I figured
Speaking
as
of
much.
corrections, I have to say, Barb reminded me of something I should have known when we were looking. I can't remember what we were looking. Oh, the electric needle. One of the quilts in the electric needle. I think there was a notation about like bias binding, and I think I
Mhm.
was kind of surprised about that. And Barb reminded me that like, yeah, typically, you know, they were using straight of grain strips, but there's also that time point where packaged, pre-made binding became a thing that you could buy, and it was much earlier. I think when I first found out about it was much earlier than I thought. So that is probably what we're seeing in some of the even rather old quilts when we see that bias binding. It's not that the maker didn't make the binding, the maker bought the binding. So I had to editorial editorial correction.
No worries, no worries. One thing that I thought
Oh,
was
the
interesting
tramp art
in
sewing
here.
box.
Yes, I had looked at this auction back as a preview. And then often what happens with me in auctions, if I want to shop in them, I forget. Like, I need to do better about like keeping track. But yeah, this
Yeah,
one I thought was really pretty. I also want to point
it's
out
really neat.
too that this auction house, if they'll have their auction listed across multiple platforms, but if you go into their platform, they have a lower buyer's premium
Hmm.
than if you go onto like high bid or something else.
Yes, and you know what? I have noticed that about several other auction places, and I think it has to do with what they pay. Like this is their homegrown,
Yep.
or actually, this says Bid Spirit.
Well,
Um,
this is just but this is looking at the sold.
right?
When
Yes.
when you look at Meander's auction, like their homepage, and you
Mm-hmm.
go and it tells you where to see it, it will tell you like if you go through them, it's this. If you go here, it's this. If you go here, it's this.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of auction houses are doing, but
Yeah.
they're now advertising that they have one of the lowest, which I have to tell you is pretty true
Yeah.
considering.
I haven't, you know, I haven't looked at any of my auction houses lately, just because I mean, it's probably been 8 or 10 months since I've really shopped any of my auction houses, and
Mhm.
they were at 18%. I'm wondering if they've changed.
So what I found interesting here, this one starts at 100 and only sold for 125. And their estimate was 2 to 400. And it's cool.
It is cool.
Like look at that. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know this isn't some people's jam, but you
Yeah.
have to just like appreciate the work that goes into this kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
I've always
I
been
also
really
just love
fascinated
boxes.
with. Yeah. Yes. Me too. There's something. I think there's a friend of mine loves boxes, and I said why? What is it about boxes? And yeah, to me it's like it's because it's a sewing thing. But she's like, oh no, it's because an empty box or like a box with the lid closed, there could be anything in there. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, that's kind of that's kind of fanciful and hopeful.
it's like
um,
Schrodinger's sewing box.
yes, Schrodinger's sewing box. There may be something awesome in there. It may be completely empty. It may be full of some like old sprung elastic. You don't know.
Or it could be something dead.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, the tramp art, like folk art, is so fascinating to me too.
Hmm.
Um, and I really don't know a whole lot about how they made that stuff. Because of the
I
little
have
ziggies.
not delved.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
I'm.
not delved into it either, but it would be interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, there's a
Here
quilt.
is a very undersold applique quilt. Started at 80, it sold for
$100.
100.
Wow. What did they say about this early 20th
Um,
century?
Hand quilted, machine binding, provenance, private collection.
Hmm.
But it looked to be in decent, let's see, in pretty decent shape. I really like the border on it. Yeah, that's some pretty minor.
Yeah,
Wow, that's it for your pictures. Thanks for spilling your guts, y'all.
that's a really pretty
I'm
quilt
so,
though.
I'm so spoiled with Dana's pictures.
Yeah, her pictures
But
are
yeah, no,
very
I
very good.
really like this big honkin' border.
Yeah, I like that too. I like those. Um, they're not exactly. They've got a princess feather vibe to them. That they're not princess feathers, but they've got that vibe to them. That leafy sort of
But see what I mean
undulation.
about how like you're gonna be bummed you didn't shop this auction? Wouldn't you have paid $100 for that quilt?
Yeah, I don't have $100 right now, but I would have found it. That's a
But you know
pretty.
what I mean?
That's a pretty quilt.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll here without making everybody sick. Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat tonight.
I never really knew any. I guess I had never really heard of meander auctions until I don't know. Was it the Jenny Gunn stuff? I think the Virginia
Hmm.
Gunn stuff that I think that
Hmm.
was the first time I discovered them.
Yeah, there's some interesting things here, like just two woven textiles, like, but not sold. And then down here, we've got folksy lamb tongue rug. I
Oh,
thought
that's
these were called penny rugs.
I think that lamb's tongue might be another term for it or something tongue
Oh,
because it's the way they leave them flappy instead of
hmm.
sewing them down. I think kind of has like a little looks like a little tongue.
Oh,
But I think
I've
I
never
think I've
heard them
heard
call
that.
that.
Yeah, I think I've heard that term before. It
Oh,
sounds
look at
pretty
this,
cool.
starting price 80, sold for 80.
Yeah, I
I've seen
mean,
things like that go for a lot in other auctions.
I'm kind of wondering. I mean, is it the time of year? We kind of discussed this, I think, a while back. Like, is our auctions, and maybe we actually had this conversation with our friend Jen. um,
Yeah.
is it the time of year like auction? People are concerned about the holidays and the cost of things that they have to put money towards for the
Well,
holidays.
but what better place to go Christmas shopping than an auction?
True. Um, oh, schoolgirl sampler.
Yeah, here's a sampler. Look, start 80, $200. And this
Wow,
is 1939 wool on linen.
1839.
Sorry, brain fart. But that's a pretty
Elizabeth
one.
Greer. Yeah, that is. It's pretty
Yeah.
because it's all the
Hmm.
different colors. But yeah, so I mean, is it the fact that people are really more concerned about holiday expenses, entertaining and buying gifts and travel and all that stuff, or is it like is this a reflection of the economy? I don't know. I I feel like I've been seeing a lot of this, and I haven't looked at a whole lot of auctions, but I feel like
Hmm.
I've been seeing a lot of when we do. I see a lot of things going like undersold, costing less than we expect them to end up.
So this is interesting. We've got 5 miniature baskets.
Oh yes.
I would call those sewing sheets.
Yeah, like
I
the
mean, scissor sheets.
yeah, the small ones are
Uh,
definitely what those look like. But would the big one maybe be for shears, or is that maybe for something else?
that could I would definitely see that as shears.
Scissors,
This
yeah.
one that's very like um hello. There we go. Oh, you have to like not click it when you move your mouse, I see. Um I thought that one's very, very interesting.
Yeah, that look for like some maybe I don't know embroidery scissors or something that's got a.
Let me see. Is the round disc like is that a needle? Let's see.
Oh, is
Five.
that or no? Is that another little thumbnail down there? What is that? Yeah, it
Oh
does say
yes, so
needle
it is a
case.
needle, but
In the
yeah.
description, it does say needle case or needle book.
But I wouldn't call this five miniature baskets.
Do we need to talk to the meander people?
Right? Like, yeah. I
No,
don't know.
the people who want to buy are going, no, don't tell them.
Yeah, well, you know what? Hold on, wait. I just realized I just navigated away from that because that went for its start price, $50. So, just saying, this was a pretty affordable. See, now these are miniature baskets. But this was a pretty affordable auction for the things that we like. I know that you like to look at all the things. I don't always, but like here's another
Yeah.
sampler that went, start price 100 went for 2. This one's very interesting. 1836 start price 100 went for 2. I like
Oh, yeah. That was pretty
all the
intricate.
iconography on here.
Mm-hmm.
That is very pretty.
Anne Cookman. Oh, yeah, look at
Oh,
that
sorry, we
tag.
looking at.
12 years old.
Oh, so she wasn't quite a fetus.
Just about. Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, very, very, considering what we know some of the sampler dealers would sell those for,
Mm-hmm.
if you think you want to get into samplers, now this is interesting. Here's a trinket box, not necessarily sewing, but this bad boy went for 600.
Hmm. What is
And,
it about this one?
I don't know. I mean, the wood's gorgeous,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's just, unless there's something, is it signed somewhere? It's in nice shape, but I don't, let's see. First half of 19th century, curly maple and poplar miniature drawer from the lifetime collection of a Northeast Ohio dealer. Wow.
Hmm.
Spill your guts there with that provenance. Yeah, I don't,
Oh,
unless it's
yeah.
some
You know,
type
and
of
this
design.
is another one of those things we've talked about that's really frustrating with auction houses is that they do want to keep their sources kind of,
Close to
and
the vest.
yeah, when they're not doing these like big sales like Virginia Guns collection, they keep
Hmm.
names and sources on the down low, and that's frustrating when you want to know the history of things.
So here we have two applique quilts, $50. I think that's really cute.
Yeah, it's faded, so
Like
I'm
it might not
guessing.
necessarily be like super old or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's really cute. And so is
But
this one.
this one's interesting. I wonder if that was like a pattern or if it was a kit or something they devised because it looks like applique.
Let's see. One style has two hand quilted. The other's mint green. Wild flowers on a pink background. Provenance, private collection. Some corrosion. Was it stored with batteries? Like,
I'm guessing that might have been like the condition was selected on the previous item they entered into the system.
I don't know.
There is a method to the madness of data entry when you're working in things like this.
But like $50. And then this one also went for 50. Um, so that looks like it's some kind of let's see, what do they got here?
So an Irish
Irish chain
chain.
quilts. Oh, hooked rug or
Oh, a
hooked
hook
runner.
rug. Okay.
But yeah, this is just very, so it's got quite a bit of fading on it, but just simple, pretty scallop border. I would not be like displeased.
Hmm.
This one's seen
Yeah,
better
it's
days.
pretty ratty, but
I don't know if people like restore these or if they do stuff where they make them into, repurpose them into other things, perhaps. Um, I know there was, I think at least one other thing. Oh, so here's some quilting frames. People don't want these things.
no, you can't give those
Two
things
of
away.
two of them did not sell. This one I find very interesting, the way that the legs are
Hmm.
put together.
Yeah, I
Where it could
wonder.
like it could like fold.
Maybe I'm wondering that does that strikes me as not be that as being maybe a little wobbly. You know, like I feel
But
like
yeah, now that we're
with
paying
a.
attention, because this one only went for $50.
Hmm.
Like people are n not interested in these.
Well, I mean, think about it. Though we ran across that one in one of the antique shops in Adamstown, Pennsylvania, and I
Hmm.
remember looking at it and going like, "This is like a cool piece of history." Knowing
Hmm.
that people don't often use these anymore. I
Hmm.
mean, some people do, but in the world of long arming, these are not quite as useful to people anymore. And but it's like, how do you carry this thing? How do you move this just from the antique shop to your home or wherever?
Yeah,
Those
you need like a friend with a truck.
yeah, those rails are so huge that it's. I mean, it's just kind of it's the kind of thing you're not going to get a lot of use out of, even if you can get it home. So I understand why
There's
people are not interested.
there's some I kind of wish that like somebody would like take these, as like, people that just get rid of stuff on the side of the road, take them and like repurpose them into quilt racks or something,
Hmm.
just so that like they don't die because I'm just
Yeah.
like I love them. I can't put them anywhere.
Okay. Just can you just roll up to the row right above this? I just saw prices. Okay. You've got a Sackback Windsor armchair for $275, and you've got one that sold for $2,100.
Hmm.
And then you have one that didn't sell at all. I don't
In
know anything. I
1700s.
don't know anything
Yeah.
about Windsor armchairs, but I just that
And
kind of stuff like
they're all probably Connecticut.
yeah. And in fact, the one that sold for so much money to me looks kind of crappier than the other two. So what? What? I don't understand.
No, and there's more chairs down here, 650,
Yeah.
750. I mean, I know the people that collect furniture are hardcore.
Yeah, and I mean, as quilt people, I can sit here and throw shade at the other types of collections.
Here, here's an early blanket chest for 1300. Um,
That
and
chest
this
looks like
one,
it's seen some things,
yeah, it has seen better days, that's for sure.
but very cool. It's very cool.
Yes. No, I would totally. I've seen a few. These are also, I find sometimes hard for people to sell because of their size.
Hmm.
I've seen some for next to nothing because of their size. I would love to have a bunch, but they're so big and bulky. First half of the 18th century, pine and poplar,
It still has
like
the key to it. That's pretty cool. And I
yeah,
feel like that's something that gets
from
lost.
an Idaho collection. Yeah. Um, it's funny because some stuff like it's probably gonna go like we've got a group of
Ooh,
textiles.
textiles and toys. I love these kind of. Look at those tiny chairs.
That's the kind of Windsor that you can afford.
Probably not. Honestly, tiny things are also very highly collectible and often go for high
This little
prices.
doll is so cute. That's definitely not a textile.
The Alps or whatever. What is this?
It's a painting. The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Look at those little
Those are cute.
chairs.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are cute. Doggies, that's not a textile. Here's a tiny
that's
little
pretty
rug.
cool little rug. Yeah. Oh,
Another
were there
one.
two of them or is that the back of it?
Yeah, two, I think.
Hmm.
Here's a little dress. Actually, that could have
Huh.
been, yeah, that's probably the back of.
Okay, $40 for that pile of loot. Yeah, that would have made
Yep.
me happy.
I told you this was a Stephanie action. Because you're the girl that shows up and she's like, so guess what? I won this lot of quilts for like $30 and I'm like, here I am then calling Steph to be like, hey, can you go pick up a lot of quilts for me in Maryland? I spent $2,000. So you're definitely the luckier one.
Wow.
Um, when it comes to stuff. There's a couple there isn't really much else in here, but these were interesting. These um circus models here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like
Oh, the
those
little
before.
circus wagons. Oh, those are interesting. Huh.
Hmm.
Byron?
And yeah, and like they didn't go for nothing, so there must have been some
Yeah.
collectors.
Yeah, this must have been somebody's collection of those.
And then
Wow.
like I guess it was a really big deal to have
Hmm.
like, the figures and stuff like that. So yeah, that that was from the more affordable auction. Now we're gonna go into something much fancier, which is
Th-
a UK
this one
auction.
is the living vicariously.
Yeah,
And
this is
this is
a
this is the one where I have the list, right?
hold on. Yes.
Bleasdales.
So one thing I can't stand is that this auction company, when they report their sale, um, numbers, they put it in a separate PDF. It's not with the item, so you have to like cross check. It's annoying. So Stephanie will cross check some things for us since I can't do all of it. But this is, and we're not going to look at this whole thing because this has like over 1,000 items. So this
Yeah,
auction
but
could feed us for a while.
I'm looking at just let's see, this is 1 through 5. I'm looking at 1 through 5. One of these went for a lot more money than the others. Would you guess which one of these lots went for like I can't do math in my head, but Mrs. Garrett is hanging her head, but
Go ahead and just say it in
one of
pounds.
one of these things went for 900 pounds, whereas some of the other items here that we're seeing went for 75, 95, 190.
One went for 95 pounds. I think it's the dip pen.
That went for 90. No, no, the pen didn't sell.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
the pen didn't sell. Um, yeah, the pen didn't sell. Yeah, so lot one, the 3 Tunbridge stamp boxes.
A
So
stamp.
my guess is these are stamp boxes. These things are itty bitty little items.
Mm-hmm.
Went for $900.
Well, I do have before because I didn't just notice it's already 10 of 8. One thing I pulled out of here, instead of scrolling at this moment, is I only was able to look through the first half of the auction, but out of those 600 items, I was able to pull out roughly the 3 least expensive items it sold
Mm-hmm.
and the 3 most expensive items it sold.
Okay.
Um, it was a little difficult because at first I saw something that went for 36 pounds and then I was seeing tons of those. And I was like, oh, maybe that's their lowest they go. But then I saw one for 18 pounds, 24 pounds. So let's
I
look at
also have my pounds to dollar converter because it's not an easy conversion right now. It's $1.27 to £1 sterling.
why didn't it, hey, why didn't it in this auction? Oh, let's could not find. Do I have to literally type in lot? Lot 626.
Is it like 0626 or
I don't think so.
well, did it? Let's see. Let me scroll down here on the.
Let me just try another one. 660.
Yeah,
That's
I see.
weird.
I see 626 on the list here. So yeah, I definitely sold for 18 pounds.
That's obnoxious. In
Which
this,
is $22.93, by the way.
oh wait, did that do it? Okay, that makes me upset.
Yeah, that's irritating.
Darn it. Yeah, that's really irritating. Well, then I guess. Oh, look, we can look based on sections. Is there some kind of particular
Oh,
grouping of things that you find
oh, I
interesting?
don't know. Needleworks, costume, purses, and samplers. Oh, mock lean. Oh my goodness. Lace bobbins and oh.
So, like I said, we could look at this for a long time. So don't fret. This, but tape measures were very interesting because there was some
Oh
cool stuff.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
So let's see. For some reason the clock tape measures are
Those are pretty
often
cute.
they're often a big deal when I
Yeah.
see them in US auctions.
Are
One
these
thing I
like working
also
clocks? Are these like working watches that are have a tape
I
measure?
see free metal. Let's see, watering can, velvet pink, team. Another as an alarm clock. I don't think they work.
Okay.
But one thing I will say I don't care for about this auction house is the lack of multiple photos. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this watering can one is interesting because it's like there's like a teeny tiny little pincushion up here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's
At
what
least
that was. I definitely look
that's
at it.
what it looks like.
Yeah, that makes sense what that might be. Yeah, because
But
it
yeah,
looks
I
like the.
find that like these kinds of clocks, like if you look these up like on eBay or something, they can go for a lot of money. What did this lot go for? 152?
This lot went for 80 pounds sterling, which is $101.90 US.
So that's actually pretty cheap, I think, for having three of these, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
seeing clocks all by themselves on like eBay, they could go for that by themselves. Just one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Now, here's the question. Do I'm assuming this is okay, so this is a UK seller, right? I'm assuming that these auction houses also have buyer's premiums.
mhm,
And you have to have shipping with this because unless you
mhm.
have somebody in the UK that can go
Um,
get this for you.
their
So,
buyer's premium is 20%, which is
okay. Oh,
not,
there it is. No
yeah.
VAT though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, there's and no online commission. Like 20% I think is that's pretty low
Yeah, considering.
for stuff that we're seeing. Well, we've seen some in the US that have 30% or higher.
Yeah.
Didn't we see one that was like 34 or some jazz like that? I feel like we saw somebody that was really, really high recently, but I can't remember who it was. But they're getting pretty high.
Yeah, 34 is not ringing a bell to me. It could be that I blocked it because it's so ridiculous.
Right? Yeah, we were looking I feel like it was some pretty fancy schmancy, like high end. But we both looked at it and were like, I feel like I've seen a 36. I can't remember. But again, because I'm like, ugh. But yeah, like look at some of these, like what is this?
Looks like a little like a organ grinders.
Novelty
Oh, Punch and
punch and
Judy
beauty
show.
show. That's cute.
Yeah,
How much did 161 go for?
161.
Oh, good. They actually did show another side of this.
Oh, 161 didn't sell.
Shut up.
Yeah, 161 is not on the list.
Well, and let's see. Does it say anywhere on here what the
Yeah, I know on the thumbnails it did say what the what the expected range is.
oh,
Where'd it go? Yeah, 50 to
estimate
100.
50 to 100? Hmm. I really like these ones too.
Oh
These
yeah, those
little
little sort of scroll like
cylinders.
things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what did that go for? 160?
160, 75 pounds.
Wow, that's actually
Mm-hmm.
lower than I would
Yeah,
think it
which is
went for.
less than $100. Yeah, $95.53.
Let's see. This pig, sometimes I feel if it's sterling.
Is it the one where the tail winds?
Yeah, I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
standing pig, that one can
So that's
often go for what? Three,
158.
let's see, white metal.
Yeah, that went for
Oh,
110 pounds.
yeah, so complete printed tapes and wound from the tail. I'm sorry, you said it went for how much?
110 pounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
look, and they
I
give
could.
the name of the person who the collection is, Barbara Spicer.
Oh, well then.
Things are a little different. Oh, is that a wheel? A wheel. Roller skate. That's a roller
Yes.
skate pincushion. Oh,
What did that one go for?
It didn't sell. It's not on the
Wow.
list.
Look at how you just ruined life. Well, they'll have another sale in May or June. But you know what's funny? How did they decide where the tape measure was going to come out from? I feel like it would have been a lot easier for it to come out like here, and
Yeah.
like roll like this way, like make it come out flat. Like
Yeah.
this seems like one of the least easy places to put it.
Yeah. Some oddball engineering and
But this one's cool
maybe
because
that's
it's
why it
also
didn't
a
sell.
pin. It's also a pin cushion. Maybe let's see. Does it have issues? Novelty brass cushion with
Complete
complete
printed tape.
printed tape in inches and centimeters. A passion for collecting lasting
Oh,
42
click on
years heart
click on shipping and let's see what they have to say about shipping.
I know someone that recently shopped in this auction and bought a number of things, and shipping for them was only 50 bucks.
Okay.
So that seems pretty reasonable to me. But what I don't, let's see, at cost postal service
Could take up
within
to
the
4 weeks for
UK.
all parcels. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So they're posting between 10 and 15 parcels per working day?
Well, when you got to go through 1,200 items,
Yeah, I know,
like
but good lord.
but yeah, I feel like let's see. I thought this was the company that didn't ship, but maybe that's somebody else. Or maybe they've decided to jump on the year
Mm-hmm.
2024. Um,
Oh
this
my
one's
gosh, look
cool.
at that little. Okay, I was looking at the hot air balloon. Oh my gosh, a
Oh, we'll
gondola.
go to that one next. Yeah, Zeppelin. Isn't that neat?
Uh,
What did
oh,
this
it's
go
Zeppelin.
for?
Let's see, 165. 55 pounds.
That seems low. I would have paid that for this.
Now that's $70 US.
I've never ever seen one like
Oh,
this.
I haven't either.
I will say it's a little suggestive, but
Chill! The hot air balloon! The hot air balloon! It's so cute.
yeah, I thought that was really cool. I've never seen one like this.
Let's see, what did that go for? That one didn't sell either. What?
Wow.
I'm wondering if this could
Maybe
have.
maybe people just got burned out. Cause I do know someone that watched this auction live. It's a timed auction. It's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't have like live bidder. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like in person. Um, and they watched it and I was like, I I think I get really burned out on because can you imagine how long it could take to go through that many items?
Yeah.
As much as I
Yeah.
am
I
in
mean,
love with the items that they sell, the fact that I would be in love with like every
mhm.
single lot, you know what I mean? I'd also probably spend a whole lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, since this didn't
Hmm.
sell, like, put put in a reminder for you. They have another one in like
What
May
is,
or
wait, wait, wait. So lot number 167. What is that? Brass and pleated novelty. So that's like a little plant or something?
yeah, it's like a tree. What
Okay.
did that go for?
That went for 230 pounds. That seems to be,
Oh.
of this lot here, that seems to be the one that went for the most of the stuff we're looking at on this one page.
Hi, Jan. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, but there's like all kinds of cutesy stuff here. Like there's a lamp. There is a
Oh,
lamp. I feel in a purse. I feel like if there this one's cool because it's got like a place to put a thimble
oh,
on
to put
the
the
top.
thimble in. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like if there was anything that they could think of, they made it into a tape
I
measure.
know, I know. Well, remember when
Look at this.
we did tape measures for needlework nights, and we found that site that had all those like sterling silver, like
Hmm.
incredibly expensive, but they were so fun to look at because they were oddball things like military hats and all kinds of
Or that
animals.
one
And
that was like the royal coach
oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, it was like, it looked like, well, yes, it was the actual royal. There was a word for it, and I can't remember what it is. Anyway,
carriage.
it wasn't carriage though. It had like a word, I think. But in any event, that was very cool.
What
Um,
did what did this lot go for?
oh,
170?
I'm sorry. doing my
Yeah,
job.
get back to work.
46 pounds.
For four of them.
And that's 58.59 US.
For
$58.59.
four really cool ones.
Yeah.
Because they just made, like, look at this. We've got like figural people.
Yeah, these
What is
heads
that
are
a kangaroo?
bizarre.
Is that a can? Look at that!
Oh, that is very cute. That looks very like modern. I'm wondering if that's like 20th century.
I don't
Um,
care.
Now, the lady sitting down with the floofy dress, I'm wondering if her legs are the tape measure or if it comes out the back of her or
Yeah,
something.
I think they might be her leg. Or this guy scratching his butt, but it looks like maybe right here is the
Well, the kid's
thing.
playing leapfrog. Do you think it's the bottom kid's head? Is the tape measure?
Yep, I do think it's his head.
And I like how
That's
the
what I mean.
kangaroo is
Like,
the baby. The
well, in the
baby.
kangaroo, it's the baby in the kangaroo's pouch. Like, who's making these decisions? Robin said, these would be great little items to have in your purse for that goofy game at bridal and baby
Oh yeah.
showers.
What is it like the weirdest thing you have in your purse or who has a whatever? Yeah. Well, obviously, I am the only one that has a celluloid novelty tape measure. Oh yes, it does. Her legs is the tape ends. Yeah.
Grits and
So
Butter said, "How do you bid on stuff on the Meander auction site? I want one of those frames." That auction, Grits, is that's already passed.
yeah,
Those
but my
items have
guess is
already
the
sold.
things that are not sold often they will put in the next like
In the next auction, yeah.
the next
If you
auction.
just
Yeah.
if you just get on their site, like just like search Meander Auctions and get onto like their
Mm-hmm.
homepage, you can see the upcoming stuff, and then they'll give you a list of like three different places that you can bid. But I highly suggest trying to go through their homepage bidding because it's
Mm-hmm.
got the lowest. They tell you about the different buyer's premiums on there. But yeah, we're going through sold stuff. We were gonna look at an auction about like preview stuff, but that'll be like another night. But yes, get on their email list so that you can be reminded when their next auction is and you can keep your eye out for that thing. This is
Yeah,
soft
this is
metal
interesting.
painted just exotic bird. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm like, what kind of bird is this?
Exotic.
And again, why is the tape measure coming out of here? Why didn't they make it like the tail? I need to be a part. How much did this lot go for? 175? I need to be a part of these discussions with someone.
You know,
Like, who's making these choices?
you could have your own tape measure company where you could have the tape measure coming out of any part of the animal you want.
But yeah, what did this go for?
Let's see, what is it? 175. Um, oh, 120 pounds.
Well, so that one's
Must
pretty
be,
collectible.
yeah, must be something special about that one. And that one looks kind of rusty and clunky. Oh, is
Oh,
that?
look at this.
That's like a little car.
That is so cute.
Oh, and it
Early.
has little rubber tires and everything. Oh my goodness, isn't that cute?
Oh, it comes out the back. What did this go for?
Yeah. Um, 100 pounds.
Okay. Okay. This owl is cool too.
Oh, yeah. Is its belly like a?
Like a
Oh,
globe
it's
kind of
celluloid.
thing. Form of vanilla glass eyes. It says the complete butt. So what is it, like this loop
Yeah,
thing
it's
in
like
the
a
back?
ring. Oh yeah, you can see it's
Yeah.
the tape is kind of turned to the side, and I think that
The
that's
form
like
of
a.
vanilla, the complete but repaired tape wound from the tripod base. Did this one sell? 178?
Yeah, for 160 pounds.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on a sec. 177 did not sell according to this list. It's not on the list.
Uh-huh.
176. That went for 400 pounds. 176 is a lot. It's the five tape measures. So what are they?
Oh, what's that? Well, this
Interesting.
like
Now,
big.
these are not to me like looking at this, and I mean, maybe it's that Max Rosen and whoever are those two royals, the heads.
Yeah,
Maybe it's that one has some kind of. But these,
that's
okay.
that definitely looks like a Victorian era wedding. But
Yeah,
I wonder if it has to do with this guy with like this like
maybe.
thimble tape measure thing that's
Mm-hmm.
obviously clearly not there.
Uh-huh.
Because
Because
like this isn't
that
particularly rare.
I have one of those, and then that nut that's carved out of that's vegetable ivory
Yeah.
carved out of one of those nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I have something similar to that too, so it can't be those unless those are something special. Huh. Well, let's see. Oh, it's advertising. Okay. Max Rosen Ltd. The largest furrier. Maybe
Hmm.
that's it.
No rhyme or reason.
I know,
No
right?
rhyme or reason. Okay, so there's lots more tape measures, but let's look at
Mm-hmm.
some other
Yeah, by the way, Drew had mentioned that, and I noticed this too. Keep your face directed towards your mic.
oh, when I was looking my thing down.
Yeah, if you turn your head too much, it like your mic stops picking you up.
I'll just yell louder. All right, guys, give me the categories. Why aren't you like
Mm,
giving me the
you
categories
have to, yeah,
here?
you have to get rid of the old category, right? Oh, no, maybe you have to go back to the beginning. You can't like,
I'm just gonna fire this website.
yeah,
It
okay.
it has annoyed me in and now that's just not gonna show up at all. It's like, no, we don't want you looking at categories.
Well,
There we go.
sales section, yeah. Okay. Um. Oh gosh, there's so many interesting things here.
How about sewing boxes, etuis, companions,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
other
I was gonna say
things?
sewing clamps, but that works. This works too. Hmm.
What
Oh,
is
look at these
this? A
tortoise shell
Georgian red
items.
leather. A red leather. Who's Swift? Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah.
It's cute.
Okay. All right. Let me get to this section. 90 pounds.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
it looks like this section, none of these things sold for a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
One thing
Um,
I really like is that they're grouping like things together
yeah,
in
that is
block.
nice. You could kind of look at this. I can see, so lot
Hmm.
274 through
This one?
278. Yeah, all of these sold. Let's see, 278 sold for 90 pounds, but the others, reading across, 65 for that tortoiseshell one, 38,
Hmm.
46, 46, and 90.
A rare Regency red leather sewing box.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty.
36 pounds.
What?
Well, I mean, this says rare, but it's commemorating something. And I don't know, to me, I guess those seem to be more collectible, but
The Duke of Wellington's defeat of Napoleon. Oh, we've actually got good pictures. We got that. There's stuff in it.
wow. Wow. So
Normally these are
36,
pretty empty, unless
yeah.
that's like not original stuff, and people know that.
Yeah, I mean, this is less than $50 US. That's like
Yeah,
$45
and look, there's
US.
even a little drawer under here.
Hmm.
I am very upset that I am not possessing this for less than $50
Okay, so
US.
let's put this into perspective. Those little ivory spools or mother of pearl spools or bone spools.
The toppers here.
Yeah. The ones that are the mother of pearl, at those ones in the top right hand corner that we can only see the top, those look like the mother
Hmm.
of pearl ones.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
Those
those
look like the
go
toppers.
those go
Yeah,
for
the
$50 by themselves.
mhm.
So that's interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, I would possess that for $50.
Yeah.
I would not let me rephrase. I would not be upset with anyone if they wanted to buy that for me for $50.
Well, then you've got the premium. Then you've got the $50 shipping.
Not, but even with that, I that still would have been enough. How about this? I know that these aren't particularly rare. You can look at all the stuff in here. Wow.
Oh wow.
Clamps and stuff. I've never seen them with clamps in them.
So
Circa
283.
1830.
I don't have a sale price on this one. It didn't. It's not.
Really? Yeah, I have heard from numerous people that really, guys, you couldn't fix this and put it in its little place before you took the picture.
Oh,
Like, come on.
But
This
yeah,
picture
so
was almost this picture was almost a perfect what is that game you played as a kid where you had to like put the little shapes in before it went off and exploded on you?
oh, was it concentration or
Come
I know what you're
on,
talking
guys, in
about.
the
It
chat.
would pop up
What
and
is the
fling them
name?
everywhere. Ah, what was the name of
Yeah.
that one?
What if they were yellow and the board
Mm-hmm.
was blue?
Yeah, I had it. Not
But yeah,
Operation. It's
I'm like
similar to Operation.
we almost had like this perfection.
Perfection.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, lurker husband.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, hey, Ivy.
we almost had like a perfect like setting here. And like someone took this photo and went, yeah, that's good.
I wonder what the starting bid on this was. I mean, could that be the problem? Because this is packed with stuff. I mean, that little fragrance bottle. I mean, I see those,
Mm.
at least in the U.S. on auction sites that are like, $100, $200 for those, and the little thread winder and the scissors. Those scissors, I see those for,
Well, and look at these clamps. I've
the
never
clamps.
ever
Yeah.
seen clamps in these. Well, let me rephrase. I almost never see these, at least US side, full of stuff.
Yeah.
From what I
Except in a
have been told,
museum.
like I have been told that like in Europe, it's a lot more common to still
Mm-hmm.
find the stuff in here.
Yeah. Well,
But
because
let
they were
that
imported.
alone,
They
like
were
I've never
imported.
seen them with
Yeah.
clamps.
I mean, these were imported here, right?
Ooh,
Yeah.
pretty.
So grits and butter, those things on the side were sewing clamps. So they would clamp to a table and then have. Sometimes they have a pin cushion. Sometimes they have a spool holder. Sometimes they're just to clamp your fabric to keep it, straight while you sewed.
So 283 didn't sell, huh?
Nope. Let me double check. Make sure I was looking correctly too.
So the
Nope.
estimate was 400 to 600.
Yeah, it's not listed at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
was looking at the wrong one.
800 to
The
1,000. So,
estimate was 800 to 1200.
and I'm yeah 1,200. I'm curious to know maybe what their start is. I mean, maybe their start. Um,
Was like 5.
yeah, maybe their start was too high, and
Mm. Well, something to watch out for next time.
yeah.
Look at this. A French sewing companion. How about 284?
That thing looks like a Fabergé egg. Oh my god. You're gonna be mad. um, this went for 65 pounds.
Shut up. Look at that thing.
Like, I'm starting to get mad. Because that's $82 US. And I mean, again, like, not like I'm thinking, oh, man, I could have had that for practically free. I'm just thinking about the fact that when you do see these here in the US on eBay,
Oh, they're a lot of money.
hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and they're nowhere near as complete or in like what appears to be very good condition. You'll see things on eBay that, I mean, you guys know, you see this stuff. It's, missing a lot of the things, or it's really tarnished or dinged up.
Well,
And
and the nice thing is like if you were shopping this thing with a couple of friends, you can just have like you could potentially
mhm.
have just one of you do the actual bidding and then just have
Yeah,
one
and have
person
the
pay for the
shipping.
shipping.
Yeah.
And then like don't get me wrong, you're all gonna take a risk with the shipping that you all could lose your crap, like it happens. But
Yeah.
if you wanted to save money that way, you could, you know. Um Darn, I'm grr.
Yes, Jill
Well, I
was
will say
a
that
little salty today. I got a text message. Do you know there was that big UK sewing tools blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, whoops. Finger ring etui for a child. Oh, I bet that's cute. What is that?
you bet
$2.90?
correctly.
Oh my gosh. 48 pounds.
48
Oh,
pounds.
look how
Look at
teeny
that.
tiny.
Wow.
Look at
That's
that.
gorgeous.
And look at the little tiny acorn on the end of it. Oh my
You know what's really
gosh.
weird is was I can't believe that there was ever a time that you could trust a child to keep this on their finger. But
But
don't you feel like
yeah, that
potentially
must be why it's complete and in perfect condition.
um But don't you find it funny? Like, this probably would have been gifted to one of those fetuses that would have completed one of those really
Sampler.
ornate
Yeah.
samplers at the
Well,
age
I
of
mean, really, that
2.
that's why when you get these actual infants completing their samplers, that's why they need the ring. It's got to be on their finger so that when their mother gives birth, the etui follows them.
Yes, that part of it, like you actually give birth. This is what the stork brings.
Yeah. Oh my
And
goodness.
this one went for what? 290.
48 pounds.
Well,
$61.
at least I know you're suffering along with me.
Yes, this literally makes me mad. I would have scrounged some money for something like that.
Oh, look at this. It's
What is
like
that?
a seashell.
Oh,
13
interesting.
piece sewing set attributed to Samson Morden contained in a maroon. What is
I'm assuming
that?
that's the color when it's closed. It's like a maroon velvet or something.
But it's like a seashell. Oh, and there's one of those round tape measures. Wow, look at all that stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
What did that go for?
I'm sorry, the number on the screen.
298?
298. What is the date range on this? This seems like it's maybe not that old.
Oh, hold on.
298, 100 pounds. So the
Oh,
cute little kids thing went for more money than that kind of okay looking thing. I mean, that doesn't look like. What's the dates? Does it say?
hallmarked for 1876.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked a little more vintage, like
Yeah, to
just the
me,
cape.
yeah.
But
Robin
look
said
at
the
this.
seashell's cool. Yeah, all of this stuff is so cool. It's. I mean, I'm sitting here like trash talking the the one thing, but all of these
Look
things
at
are very cool.
this thing. All right. All right. Do you really not have a picture of this open?
296.
Okay. Whew. No, they do.
296.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's pretty neat. It's like a
And there
little
has like
clasp.
space to like keep your stuff in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Why did people in the UK just take better care of their stuff?
Well, I mean, I guess also the stuff. I'm trying to think through this, like what makes sense. Why would these things? So you're closer to the where it was manufactured, so there's more of them in the in the marketplace. So you're more likely to have people that just kind of stashed one away. Here in the U.S., it would have been something that was imported and treasured. Um, and with that in mind, you'd think they'd put it away and not use it. But I don't know. It's like why would the ones that are here maybe are not in good condition,
Well,
whereas.
and these guys are far less like weird about giving provenance because this one's a collection of Enid Riley.
Hmm.
And what did that go for? 296?
120 pounds.
Mm. Mhm. Oh, this one's interesting. It's like a desk. Unusual leather and pearl mounted musical sewing box.
Wow. In the form of a bureau, French or German.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah, my mother actually has a similar piece of furniture. Um,
I'm assuming it's life size
it
though.
is life size. Oh,
Look
it's
at
got the little
that.
mirror in there. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Ugh,
Very cute.
I hate them.
What
There's
was
the
the number on
musical
this
part.
again?
I don't know. Look it. There's something handwritten here. Was it just like a little
Martha
card?
Martha Di so that must be
Oh,
German,
it's
right?
written in German.
Yeah,
It looks like.
this must be why they think it's German, maybe. Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it's written in German.
302.
Yeah.
Ready to be mad again? 60 pounds.
Oh my God. Circa 1880.
No rhyme or reason. But also, I mean, I go back to the fact that, I mean, some of these things are possibly from sources we are not familiar with that may, you know, dictate whether these things were very precious or were there a lot of them in the market, you know?
Here's another one of these things. 309.
Okay. Appears not to have sold. This is okay. So the style of Palais Royal. Um,
Look at that. It like has a double opening.
you know what it reminds me of, like the monsters, like that they open. Was it? It's the worms. Beetlejuice. They open their mouth and then another one comes out and opens its mouth. That's what that reminds me of.
Wow, you took that to a dark place.
But yeah, it's a very interesting thing.
Ooh, look at this octagon one.
What, 312?
Mm-hmm.
42 pounds.
Well, the good news is that we didn't spend $800 on shipping to bring home 57 boxes.
Wait, but 314 Rosewood and Mother of Pearl.
Uh-huh.
That went for more than the estimate at 310 pounds.
That's the most boring looking one on the page.
Know.
What's so, like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be upset to have this, but
It's pretty, but not at the,
I mean, it's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but not at the expense
Look at those
of some of the other pretty
scissors.
things. Oh, the little stilettos in there. I literally have one of those.
Yeah, those scissors are really pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very simple. I mean, it has a lot of stuff in it. So I'm sure that can affect things, not necessarily
Can we
all
look
the
at
things.
the thing that before at lot 313, an Anglo-Indian horn and ivory handle engraved. I mean, to me that looks like that's amazing looking thing.
Circa 1830.
A sewing panya, and it's old. It's older than that other one.
So what did this go for?
I just saw it. 55 pounds. To me, that is much more interesting and older than that other one.
It's got a lot going on, but I don't think there's anything in it.
Okay, so you think that the little doodads inside are what are really establishing these prices?
I mean, for some of them. I mean, this is, well, and this has some damage. It looks like it's missing some
some of the fretwork.
things. But yeah, definitely you're gonna probably get more if it's got stuff in it than if it doesn't, because it's so common, at least here, to find stuff without stuff in it.
I usually feel like when I'm attracted to something in an auction, it's usually going to be the stuff that's like, oh, everybody wants that, so of course it's gonna, the price is gonna go way up. But I don't know. Sometimes I find myself attracted to the things that sold for either didn't sell or sold for hardly anything. And
this one's interesting. What's 315? They estimated it 250 to 350.
55 pounds.
Oh my God. I'm so mad.
I think we've got some friends in our life that hey Sherlock. We've got some friends in our lives that have some explaining to do, and they didn't remind you that this auction was going on.
Look at that. Oh, wow, that's cool. Okay, what's with this 3 photos here? Come on, guys. Like,
well, when you have how many items are in this auction? Like thousands.
But if you're trying to sell stuff, people need to see the stuff that you're selling, okay?
Well, obviously some of these things they didn't have any problem selling. Ooh, what's the one that's the turquoisey color? 322. That looks interesting. Are those enameled items?
Yeah, it is enamel, but I don't know how to say that word. Gulak?
Guilloche? Guilloche? I don't know.
What did that go for?
Well, see, now it's my turn to be mad. What was that, 322? 36 pounds.
You deserve that.
It's really cute! Osprey.
date? I don't see a date, but it's the collection of Barbara Spicer.
Yeah. To me, that looks like something that's 20th century, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know these
Who
things very
cares
well.
though? 36 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know these things very well, so I'm just attracted to the things that are pretty or cute or tiny.
Leather case. Oh my God. I just, oh, this one's interesting. It looks like a purse.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
black leather and silver mounted etui of Daisy Greville, Countess of Warwick and Mistress of whom?
hold on. Mistress of King Edward the Eighth? Seventh? Seventh?
Seventh, yeah. What?
Um, the black leather case with silver mounts from London, 1876, with maker's mark. The leather stamped Jenner and Newstub of blah blah blah. Curves of monogram. The compartmentalized interior of a section of fittings included cracked opaque glass writing panel. Lady Warwick, Sicily, March 4th, 1903. Mother of pearl silk winder, miniature wooden snuff. Okay, what did this go for?
55 pounds. Apparently, Daisy Greville, the Countess of Warwick, was not popular lady. I mean, this has literally got like literal ownership provenance in it, and it sold for 55 pounds.
I think part of the problem is that like we're just not old over here. Like,
So
like stuff's just not near as interesting over here.
we're
Look
being
at
amused. Look at the things. Are those like? Is that like a little lorgnette? Like
what the hell is that?
lorgnettes are like opera glasses that pop out. So I don't know. That might just
Oh.
be like a magnifying glass or something. But yeah, lorgnettes they'll pop out like that and fold open, and then you've got this little pair of glasses on a stick.
Mm-hmm. Wait, does that come inside it?
I don't know. Was that one of the little things? No.
Oh, it might be this right here.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, like I am upset.
$55. Wow, surprising.
Yeah, I'm upset. That would have been so cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who
You
Daisy
imagine
Greville is, but
well, can you imagine if I had called you and been like, guess what I won? Wow, what is that? French ebony and cut steel? That's interesting. Wow. That seems kind of folksy.
yeah.
Oh, I actually expected there to be a little more going on in there, but
Yeah, 36 pounds. That's it. The little bottle. I'm assuming that's a little like a little scent bottle, the round
hmm
thing. That's
hmm
pretty. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would have needed a whole new room in my house for all of my boxes.
Oh, there was a
Oh,
fish. What was the
yeah,
fish?
I wanted to look at that. Oh, I already know how much this went for. This went for
Oh,
3,160 pounds. This was on
yes.
my list of one of the most expensive. So I wanted to look at this because on one of the sewing tool sites on Facebook, one of the groups, I don't, it could have been Dawn's group. I'm not I think so. But there was a woman that posted one of these. And at first, when I looked at this, I thought it was just a tape measure because of right here. But then I realized
That
she
is
has one of
so
these
darn cool.
and she's got all the crap in it too.
Oh my gosh. You know, things like this that are just so like strange. Oh, I love it.
Well,
Um
and for some reason, like the fish are a big deal. I'm assuming it probably has something to do with like its ties to like Christianity, like
maybe. Yeah.
iconography.
Yeah,
Um,
possibly.
but yeah, fish seem to be a big deal. Let's see, 1870. But yeah, this so far, having looked through all the sold prices for the first half of the auction, this is the most expensive item.
Okay. There was something before it that was pricey, not this pricey, but was also pricey.
120 The 125. That
Mm-hmm.
one went for 15, 20 something.
No,
There's a
let's see.
couple different prices.
No, oh, I was looking at it's whatever is the lot before this went for 1,300 pounds.
Oh, 343.
In case you were wondering, 3,160
Victorian color.
pounds is $4,025 US. Yeah,
So
so
this thing,
that thing went
polished
for, yeah.
onyx, mounted sewing box, base with interesting. I can't say I've ever seen something like this.
Hmm.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's not giving me like, you know, screaming Beatles live in
Would I, how much
Madison
did
Square
you,
Gardens kind of energy.
this,
1,320 pounds.
yeah, like it's cool, but I wouldn't pay that kind of money for it. Like if someone gave it to me, I'd be like, yay, but I wouldn't like pay that kind of money for it. Let's see. There's just a bullet looking thing. Wow, how about some of these ones here that have two in them, like 348 or 349?
Um, 348 went for 400 pounds. 349 went for 170 pounds.
Oh. Sherlock, I'm not sure what the twisty bit in that fish was.
My guess is it was like an awl or a stiletto or something.
Hmm.
Just would have been pointing on either end.
Oh wow, how about 352?
Oh,
10
352.
various 20th century sewing etuis.
130 pounds.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. 353, the one next to it, the tortoiseshell one, that one for 600.
Okay, well, I could see that. Tortoise
Yeah.
shell is always a big deal.
And 354 went for 360.
Really, that one looks kind of boring. How about this, a rare French composition? This clown?
Okay, he went for Clown Albert Fratellini. Hmm. He went for 410 pounds.
Wow.
He is quite interesting. Oh, look
Oh,
at
he
the
has a
box.
box.
Oh, that's fun.
He's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a cutie. Here's another one. Oh, here's another one here.
It
This
looks
is
like he's judgy. I think it's the monocle, you know.
what's 357?
357. Oh, that's another one of those enameled ones, isn't it?
Yep.
Surprisingly, 200 pounds. I don't know how that one's terribly different than the green one, but obviously it is.
Oh, look at Nut.
Oh. Is this a tiny one?
Late 19th century French. Oh, for a child. Yeah, it's
Oh,
one of the
it's a
tiny ones.
real walnut. It
Yep.
says a
They,
natural
they
walnut. Okay.
when I first got my nut, I thought it was carved, and Dawn had to correct me.
Oh, it didn't sell. It's not on the list.
Shut up.
Yeah. I'm wondering what was the range. Because those things are tiny, and I mean, how big is a real walnut? Like,
They're not those kind of nuts. They're some other kind of walnut.
oh, but still, a
Oh yeah,
walnut.
no,
I
they're
mean,
not
it's not like
huge.
these things are the size of a coconut. They're still small nuts.
But yeah, I'm so 367 didn't sell, huh?
Yeah, that's weird. Let's
It
see.
was
So
300 to 500.
okay, so 366. Oh, hmm. Wait a minute. So 350. 366 didn't sell or is not listed.
Oh.
367 is not listed. 368. That went for 800 pounds.
It's
Oh, is that all
beadwork.
beaded? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's beadwork.
Oh wow. Okay, I get it. That's very pretty. Look
Oh,
at that. And it looks like it's perfect. Looks like it's never even
yeah,
been breathed on. Look at that.
interesting. That's it. You're not even gonna, that's all you're gonna show us? It's like this little, and you could fit things inside. Like that's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
It
Well,
that's that's another thing that often surprises me, and particularly with online auctions. And I don't know. It's entirely possible that people have people reach out to the auctioneer and ask questions, get more pictures, that kind of thing. But when you'll see an auction house that has literally like the absolute scarcity of pictures, and then you see something go for hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, and you're like, I don't have that kind of money to throw around on something that's only an online auction. So, um, but
how
I
much
do
did this
know,
one go for?
I
This
do,
one's,
I,
and it's
I do know people visit their auction houses and stuff. So, 36
you know
pounds.
people that visit this auction house?
No, just in general. Auction
Oh.
houses, when like, well, our friends in Pennsylvania go to Pook and Pook and check things out.
Hmm.
And I'm close enough to B&D. I can go up there, and I've looked at things up there. So, yeah. 36 pounds for this.
Really? And it's a book form, a TUI for a child. Oh, oh wait, hold on. Let me get it big.
Oh, so it's split in half and it opens up like that.
Yeah.
Oh, how precious.
And I'm sorry, you said this one for how much?
36 pounds, which is what, like $40? 40 something, $45.
That is really, really cute. And look, there's writing on it.
Oh, look, it's got the little, so that little odd shaped thing that's right in front of it,
This?
that's like a nail, yeah, that's like a nail set. Each of those little
Mm-hmm.
things that comes up, it's almost like a Swiss Army knife. They're
Mm-hmm.
like little pointy bits that you could use to like clean under your nails and stuff. Um,
Yum.
I have one, just an individual one, not a part of any sort of thing.
That's cute. That is really cute. Let's
Wow.
see. Is there anything else you wanted to poke at before we
Move on to another topic, another sales section. Oh.
call it a night here?
Um,
Well, I mean, you seemed really excited about something. Knitting sticks, sheets,
clamps, maybe. Clamps was right
clamps,
after Etui's, so
winder. Oh,
sewing clamps.
clamps. Oh, there's only 18. So
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised there's only 18.
yeah. I'm curious to know, is this anything like we've seen or we have?
Oh, look at this one. Almost looks like Never Ending Story.
What is it?
Here's a set of three clamps. What did 621 go for?
621. Didn't.
Oh,
Not listed.
yeah. Here's one to
Six.
set your sights on.
Yeah.
I like
So
this one.
the
That's cool.
bird is kind of ubiquitous.
Yeah, well, it's in really good
Um,
shape. I see these ones quite often, but I don't see this.
that seems like something that would break very easily, like just kind of snap or not. I'm assuming there's probably a hole drilled in and it fits down in there.
Maybe.
Um,
But
yeah.
then like these ones here, I like the spindles often up here, like they don't last very well. So that seems like, and this cushion is definitely looks like it's original. So that if someone wanted to get going with some clamps, that seems like a good lot to set your sights on. What was the estimate? 50 to 100?
Hmm.
Wow, that's a really low estimate.
Yeah.
That bird alone here, assuming that it doesn't have any issues, they often go for like $125.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 617 went for 180. Um,
Okay,
what's 624? Um,
that's interesting and
yeah,
unusual.
that one went for 270 pounds.
Oh, this is like one of the ones that I have that has that the third hand is like this
Mm,
rocked thing.
yes. Okay. It's like an oddball little
Yeah, and
mechanism.
I wish we could see the other side of it because it looks like it has like almost like a little shelf. Looks like right here.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, could that be part of what put like clamps it to the table though?
It can be, but the point is like if it's gonna be flat right there,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes you're not like having a big flat spot for the top clamp. It's just like a
Mm-hmm.
piece.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
just, but it's one of those, it's argument. Give me another damn picture. Other side.
Mr. Bleasdale.
Yeah, like I'm not asking for too much here.
Mr. Bleasdale, I know that you have thousands of lots that you have to photograph, but I require
Well, I doubt he's doing it all himself. What about 623?
55 pounds.
Really? I that's very oh, it's a snake.
Oh, that is interesting. And that looks really old and kind of like primitive. Is that
See, we got
yeah.
more than one picture for this one. But yeah, see this just it's just got like a flat spot to put something. And then I wonder what all these holes are about.
Maybe there was
That's it.
another piece that went on there that's missing or something. Hmm.
He's really cool. Let me see. What do we 18th century.
Oh.
Iron, so yeah, probably French.
Hmm. Anything 18th
Wait,
century that's sold in the United States is gonna set you back. But I guess
yeah.
18th century in Europe and the UK is like, it's old, but
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
Something like that washed up on the shore of the Thames across the street.
Yeah, they're like we found that in the dryer after we did our laundry.
You know what? You want to know something really funny that you know, I mean, I know a number of people that live in the UK, and but I don't know. I guess you know, I think of our Canadian friends and our British friends. I kind of always think of them as like not that much culturally different than us, but I think that in some ways they really are. And my husband is fallen in love with this YouTube channel. I think it's called Jolly, and it's these two young men from England who apparently have spent some time in the US, and they do taste test of things. And the one video he sent me was them showing their father biscuits and gravy. And he of course is like, biscuits, and they started off with like biscuits and tea, and so they've got the teapot and the plate of cookies, and they're like, no, we're gonna do this American style, Southern American style. And so they clear the table and they bring out this plate of like Southern biscuits, and he's like, oh, those are scones. And they're like, no, no, they're not. So anyway, of course, and they do white sausage gravy, which is disgusting looking, but it's delicious.
It's
And
delicious.
it was so funny. This man was just like, this is life changing. And they were like, yeah, this is comfort food. We know there's a lot of calories in here because it's like all butter and, breakfast meat and all this stuff.
Lard and
Yeah.
fat and
And then they ended up having, then they bring the tea out. And of course, it's a big picture of iced tea. And he's like, oh. And so he drinks it and he's like, oh, well, that's just tea.
oh, I was gonna say, did like if they had Southern tea, did like his teeth come out of his mouth and run away?
He didn't, yeah, no, he didn't act like it was extra super sweet.
No.
But then they bring out the fried chicken. And he's like, didn't know what to do with himself. It was just the funniest thing. And I was like, yeah, I guess, I mean, and the way he was eating it like, what is this, magical food? And
Fried chicken is magical.
it really is. And then the boys started pouring, like, so they had some of it was like chicken on the bone, like drumsticks. And then also they had chicken tenders. And apparently it was an American friend of theirs that was over there and made this stuff for them. And so, like, literally they have the chicken tenders on a biscuit as a sandwich. And then they're pouring the sausage gravy over that. And they're like, this is so...
Thanks a lot. I'm just like my mouth is like what like wouldn't it be funny if you're telling the story and I'm over here like drooling.
Yes,
I'm
and it gets better. The father picks up a piece of like chicken, a fried chicken drumstick, and then like pours the gravy over it, the sausage gravy over it, and is eating. And I was like, I'm sure that is delicious, but that's really not how we do it over here. I don't know where I was going with the story, but it just was so charming to me. Like,
we were comparing cultures and finding
yeah, I mean,
things because it's
yeah.
gonna be one of those scenarios. It's like it's gonna be this clip of watch them start talking about how they missed out on all this amazing sewing history. And then we went to fried chicken, biscuits, and gravy.
Yes. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, yeah, I mean, I think about some of the cuisine and dishes that are popular, in Europe and the British Isles, and I mean, and in Canada too. I mean, think about poutine. But I've had poutine because, that's close enough. But I have actually never been to the UK. And
Neither have I.
yeah, I've been to
Quilt
mainland.
nerding road trip.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking Festival of Quilts, maybe next year. Who knows?
I mean,
Um,
I want to go for a whole lot of other reasons besides that. I would go just for the museums alone.
yes, I would go and just camp out at the V&A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that would
then
be
I'm gonna find the antique shops.
um,
So, like, yeah, I just
and maybe go
I would go
attend one
just
of
for
these auctions if they do them in person.
I think so. I think there is another one that I've been told about that they will not ship to the US. Because I know there's definitely one that won't ship at all. And but you can see their catalog and it's like I remember the first time I was shown the catalog and I was like, okay, so when are we planning the trip over there? Um, the only thing that would stink is like I would have to like bring everything back in my carry-on because I would never ever trust it. But
Yeah.
whatever. Like I will literally bring I'll just like wrap it all in like clothes or something and take it all
Oh,
in anywho.
I would just throw my clothes away. I would just be like, "Can you take me to a charity shop on my way to the airport? I'm going to drop my clothes off." Because my luggage is full of treasures. And I
Well,
don't
so
care
like
about this, like, these sweatpants
well,
I
no,
brought
but
with me.
like if a bunch of us went and you really needed some place to put some stuff, so you think you're gonna put it in the seat next to you, I would just throw my friend away.
I would just buy an extra seat. Just buy an extra seat and be like, I'm sorry, my suitcase is sitting here." Okay, I realized that I am digressing, but this was on my mind this morning. You know how sometimes they'll say, like, the reason why I was thinking about this was because this man sued. It wasn't, I don't know if it was Spirit Airlines. It was one of like the super budget airlines. And he sued because he got coffee spilled in his lap and he sustained like third-degree burns on his genitals. And the lawsuit, they talk about like frivolous lawsuits, but this is not a frivolous lawsuit. He sued, and part of the suing was because the plane is so cramped and so tiny he couldn't get up. Like if somebody spills something on you and it's hot, you're generally gonna jump up and run to the bathroom. Well, he couldn't do that because he's like boxed in, like in the middle seat. So anyway, it got me to thinking about the size of planes. And they often say like people who are overweight that struggle with fitting into these ridiculously sized seats, they should buy an extra seat. And I think that's wrong to expect that of people. But I thought to myself, what if you do buy an extra seat on a plane like Southwest? If you don't have assigned seats and you get on and you're like, okay, I'm going to sit here, and then the seat beside me is my extra seat. How do you pull that off? Like, do you have two boarding passes? Like, how does all that work? Not that I'm planning on doing it, but
I would think it's two boarding passes.
yeah. And then, you've got the people that want to sit there and be like, no, I'm sorry, this seat is mine. And you hear about those things where people lose their mind about like wanting to switch seats, like, oh, let me sit with my kids, you can have my seat, it's the middle seat. How does all that work? It's just, yeah.
And
Anyway.
that's why I don't generally fly Southwest because I want to pick my window seat.
I always fly Southwest. So anyway, I digressed extremely here, but those are the things I was thinking about, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, now I'm really hungry and I don't want to fly on a plane.
But if we were gonna go over to Europe or the UK and buy up cool fun things, and we bought an extra seat just for the cool fun things, how would all that work? We would have to have like a boarding pass for our giant duffel bag of beautiful treasures.
Mm-hmm. Look at this one that kind of looks like Aladdin's lamp.
That is very cute. Very cute.
632.
632. This might be one of the ones that, yeah, this was 180.
Oh, it's a
now.
duck.
Oh, it's a duck head. Oh my goodness, that is
Yeah.
interesting. I like
And
the
how
thumb
much did
screw
that go
too.
for?
180 pounds.
Okay. This one's a little more reasonable, like
Yeah.
that it went for that. That's very interesting. I also like was just curious before we wrap up here. How about some of these other ones here that are multi,
Yeah, I was looking at those as I
yeah,
was
like 627?
digressing us. So 627 did not sell.
Oh, let's see what
Hmm
didn't sell here so we can plan.
628. Um, Now the bird on the little flat thing, that's interesting.
That's very interesting. This one too is interesting because it
I've seen
reminds
one
me of
like
like a
that.
Wilcox and Gibbs sewing machine.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen one like that. I don't know if it was like in a book or a catalog or something. I know I've seen one like that.
So
Hmm
you were saying about 628?
628. This will make you mad. They're 19th century, five of them, right? 60 pounds. That's like what? Oh gosh, I can't do math in my head. That's a little more than 10 pounds a piece.
Well, I have one like this.
Now
Um,
those ones with those carved, like almost like a rosette thing, those are pretty.
yeah.
Gosh, 60
This one I
pounds.
wonder if it looks like it might be missing its pincushion.
Hmm It's still very pretty.
And then this one, I mean, is pretty simple.
Hmm
But yeah, somebody, I mean, like I said, great way to start your collection of
hmm
clamps. If that's gonna, what about 630 and 631?
630 is 36 pounds, and 631 is 42 pounds.
Well, on that note, I guess I'm gonna go drown my sorrows in some fried chicken
Some
and
fried chicken and
biscuits and
sausage gravy.
gravy. Like, you know what
Um,
actually, like your little thing there has made me crave is the breakfast joint in Adamstown in Pennsylvania.
oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, that place. Oh my gosh. You're
Yeah,
talking about the
that has,
diner, right? The boxcar diner.
yes, that has the cream chip beef, like eggs Benedict.
Yeah. What they have that I lost my mind over was a griddled or grilled. I can't remember if they called it a grilled or griddled. Um, was it a cinnamon? Was it a cinnamon roll? Or was it just a
Like a
pastry?
cinnamon roll, wasn't it? Cinnamon
Right,
roll.
but they had two different kinds. There was a raisin one, and then there was one that had nuts. And so, because I'm
Well,
allergic to
clearly you
nuts,
didn't get that one.
obviously I had to go with the raisin one. But yeah, it was like a cinnamon roll, but it had nut like raisins kind of all tucked into it, and they slice it and then they put it on the grill, and so you get it, and it's like all crispy and got the the brown crispy bits.
See, payback. Yeah,
So
you're gonna be
yeah,
thinking about that now,
I
and you
didn't
deserve it.
I didn't eat dinner before this, because we had a late lunch. And I told my
Oh,
husband,
ditto.
yeah, I told my husband, I was like, I'm not cooking tonight. I got to stream. I will eat a leftover after. And so we've got the Thanksgiving leftovers. I've had some here and there the last 2 days. But I did cook last night, and I made they're cheeseburger quesadillas basically. And they are so delicious, and you make like a Thousand Island type sauce that goes inside. I mean, it's like a patty melt sort of, but it's inside of a.
Oh,
It's delicious.
well, that's funny that you were saying like because we had a really late lunch slash beat the oldest couple in town to the early bird dinner. Because we left this place at 4 and we went to a Mexican restaurant and had
Hmm
stuff. But it's funny because we were talking about, well, let's just eat a really late lunch and then we won't need we because I'm like by the time we could go out again things are gonna be closed. It's 9 o'clock.
hmm
So I'm like we could just grab like some frozen pizza or something just to munch on later. Now I'm sitting here going, where can I go get fried chicken?
Fried chicken, biscuits, and sausage gravy.
Yeah, I'm like, is I could go to KFC. Like they're probably open. It's a Saturday night. Like they're probably open. I mean, I understand that's a lot lower on the tier than these guys were eating. But I'm like, that might get the job done. I
Sorry,
hate
I'm
you.
sorry for bringing it up, but
Well,
what are you
I
gonna
hope
do?
you guys enjoyed looking at some things. And like I said, that auction, the sewing tools auction was so massive. that we can definitely look at more of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys will probably figure out whenever that we're tired and haven't prepared content, we're just gonna look at that auction.
Yeah, until they have the next auction in like May, we're just gonna keep looking at that one
Yeah.
because there's so many to look at. But there are other auctions that are in right in the beginning of December that will either potentially like we could pop up and live stream something, who
Mm-hmm.
knows, or we'll look at it after the fact, or we might preview some of it
Yeah,
like next week or something.
depending on our availability, I know you said you had some things going on in December, and I do too. But I know the Virginia gun auction with Meander is coming up. We have the date
That's
for
in
that.
January.
Oh, why did I think it was December? What, okay,
No,
shoot,
that one's going to be
my
I think
bad.
January 18th.
Okay, that's right.
No, and I had said I have some things going on in
Yeah,
January.
okay, it's January. Sorry, guys. But yeah,
We
that is the
still
one.
have a month left of this year.
Do you see how I'm trying to fast forward? Yeah, so I know that we may or may not be able to watch that live, but I would like to, and I think we're gonna try if your schedule permits. So,
No, I think if it works, we can definitely make it a priority. I just know that there's some things
yeah,
going on in
yeah.
January.
Well,
But I'm
it's so
glad you
great to
guys
have you
liked it.
guys here. Yeah, I'm so glad you liked it, and we always have fun with these auction ones because I mean, my disbelief at auction prices is never ending, right?
Well,
Um,
and we get to kind of live vicariously a
yeah.
little bit because it's like, we could never own all of like if my sewing tool collection ever amasses over 1,000 pieces, you might want to call somebody about that because it sounds like I've got a problem. Um, so if I can't own it all, then at least I can oogle it all. That's one
Hmm.
thing that's nice about having friends that collect this stuff too. It's because it's almost like, to a certain extent, like their collection's your collection in the sense that
Yeah.
you probably get to play with it.
Yeah, yeah, and I just like knowing these things are out there, even if I can't have them in my hand, ooh and ah over, I can look at a picture of it. That's
Druid
sometimes
said,
just as
"Happy
good.
Saturday night. We're so wild.
I know we are real party animals here.
No one knows how to party like we do." Well,
All
on
right.
that note, I really might go get KFC.
Well,
And if I do, I will send you pictures.
okay. Yeah. All right, guys. It's wonderful. I hope the rest of your night is good. And yeah, I'll see you on Monday on my stream. And if you don't attend to that, then we'll see you on Tuesday for who knows what.
Yep, for more shenanigans. It's all shenanigans for the month of
Yes.
December.
It's all tomfoolery and shenanigans from here on out.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.